recording going already? Cool. So today, like I said earlier, we're going to focus on introducing the games because I know that a lot of the students, it's a mixed bag. Some of you are experienced in the games you want to shoutcast, and some of you are a little less experienced. So to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're going to kind of just start from the beginning, broader ideas about the games, what the main goals are for the games, and that's what we'll mainly focus on today. Today we'll also have the assignment of having you actually shoutcast a game. Everyone in your game is going to be shoutcasting the same set of games. So League of Legends, you'll have one match. I'm going to ask you to pretty much shoutcast yourself. You're going to put the original shoutcast because it's off Twitch on mute, and you're going to pretty much shoutcast over it, but without the sound. So, and same thing for Rocket League and Super Smash. I have a particular game for you so everyone will shoutcast the same game. Then you'll send the videos to me to my email, and I'll send the League of Legends ones over to Archie, and he'll introduce himself in just a moment here. He'll leave some comments, I'll leave some comments, and we'll discuss it more as the weeks kind of go by. But that's going to be the main part of the class for the rest of the time that we have together is you are actually going to practice shoutcasting, reviewing your own videos, and making adjustments based on the comments that we leave, but also the things that you notice in your own shoutcasting. So Archie, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit and kind of talk about what you're going to be doing today, then that would be great.
All right, sure thing. So, I am Archie, Legend of Sleek Smith, the head of casting talent for Utah Esports up at the University of Utah, their broadcasting team. My job there is to be ready to just shoutcaster on call for any games that any of their varsity programs are involved with, and also training the newer talent who are coming up and how to get them all involved. And I also do some professional stuff outside of the university, but that sounds a little bit like plugging my career, and I don't know what my rights are here with that. So I'm going to gloss over that. That's what I'm about. As part of my side of this, I'm going to be taking the League of Legends half of you guys and try to give some general information about the game in a way that is valuable both to people who haven't played too much and people who watch LCS every week. I've got a plan. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is probably just go ahead and straight into the separate rooms, and we'll kind of just go ahead and talk about the game. If everyone remembers the assignments that we kind of had last time, where I just asked you to watch different shoutcasting videos, either on YouTube or Twitch or whatever it may be, and then actually play the game. I think Archie can agree that knowing things about the game and playing and being involved in the community is probably important, right? Knowing things for sure. So I think you can go ahead and put us in those separate rooms, Bob.
Okay, so Archie's going in League of Legends. Who else is going in League of Legends?
Yep. Let's see. Maybe it'd be easier if they just put it in the chat where they were going to go.
Okay.
Because some of them didn't fill out the survey from last time.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if you were in Smash, we're going to put you in, tonight we're going to put you in Rocket League.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. So the way that it's going to look like, we're just going to talk about both games in that scenario. We'll probably just go over Rocket League first for a little while, and then move over to Super Smash Brothers to assess what we need to talk about and to give you the videos. And then at the end, we'll all come back together, and I'll give each game their individual assignments for the video I want them to shoutcast, and we'll go over that a little bit at the end. And I'll give everyone the links for that.
Okay. I just lost my. There we go. Okay, so.
I was invited to the Rocket League room when I said league. So can you invite me to the league room?
And who is that, Andre?
I think it was Adamami, right?
Okay.
It's pronounced Adamai.
Adamai. Sorry, I'm so sorry, man.
It's
learning.
it's a hard name.
That's fair.
Okay. Okay, and then everybody else. I'm just looking through the. Okay. Boy, this is just
Yeah, it's
too
kind of
much
bare
fun.
bones tonight. Usually we have a handful more, so I'm kind of surprised that some of them didn't show up tonight.
Okay.
I was put on Rocket League when I said League of Legends.
And who is that?
Aditya Murugan,
Okay. You want to be in
League of Legends.
you are in legal. Oh,
It said Rocket League, if I'm not mistaken.
okay. There we go. I don't know why it jumped back. Okay, so everybody should be assigned to a room, right?
I haven't got my room yet.
And who is that?
Oh, actually, no, never mind. I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Using your knowledge more than anything else.
All
Jerome, Andre, how about you? How about you two?
I play the game pretty consistently. I've played for about 2 years, ever since the newest game came out, and
Okay.
I play pretty regularly. Watch a lot of different big tournaments and stuff, so I know about shoutcasting and stuff.
Good. And how about you, Andre? What do you think?
So I've been playing, I would say, quite often, but I have not watched many competitions and all that for shoutcasting.
Okay. So it sounds like the three of you are pretty experienced then, which is good for sure. And what we're gonna need to do then is have you actually do the shoutcasting portion. Because if you play pretty regularly, then what I would suggest doing is actually just consistently practicing the shoutcasting portion, and the knowledge that you have is probably pretty decent at that point then. So what I want to do first is give you the link for the
Okay. Breakout rooms. Join.
S and LCK. Let me find the channel here so I make sure I.
Is it Adamai? Or
It's Adamai.
Adamai? Okay. Yeah, you should try LS. LS is really good. He's super smart at the game. He knows everything. I think his Twitch is LSX.
is to mute the stream behind it, because obviously there is shoutcasting that was already done for the match. So go ahead and mute it and just kind of talk over it. It's going to feel really awkward at first, especially talking into the camera. You might not be used to giving the information that you're not particularly used to probably giving out. A lot of it is just that practice that you'll need. And as you're talking, you're going to notice certain trends in your own like communication that you're going to want to change, and that's pretty natural. Even as I speak now to you, I'm noticing things that I probably would change, right, and how I say things. So it wouldn't be a bad idea, especially these first few times, to keep a notebook close by so you can write down specific things that you said or an order of how you said something, so you can kind of reflect on it after and really think about how the best way to be. Did any of you watch this clip already? Like, did you see this tournament? It's I think it's NA Worlds, right? NA Open, yeah, from October. Have any of you watched this already?
I haven't.
Haven't? Okay, cool. And if you wanted to listen to the shoutcasting that's already done beforehand, in this format they have 3 shoutcasters, so it's a little bit different than what we talked about the last few times. But the concepts are still pretty similar for sure. The 3 of you are pretty experienced, it sounds like, so it's hard for me to convey information that you didn't already know. What are some worries that the 3 of you have going into the shoutcasting?
Do you want us to have our face cam on when we're recording?
It's personal preference. When you're recording you shoutcasting, I would say if you can, yes, because a large portion of the shoutcasting is also body language and presentation. And so if you have the ability to have your camera on while you're doing the shoutcasting, I would say so.
Okay.
Definitely. When the actual game is going, usually shoutcasters, you obviously don't really see them on the screen. But beforehand, when they're explaining maybe the matchups or explaining how the players kind of interact for that portion, they do. And so I would say, at least for a little bit of it, I would definitely have your camera on just so you get used to remembering that you're on camera. And how you transition it between that's kind of up to you. But I would say if you can, at the beginning, I would definitely have the camera on so you can kind of communicate that body language. Good point. Jerome or Andre, do you have any concerns about shoutcasting that you want to kind of talk about? I was going to spend most of this time going over the general game, but it sounds like the 3 of you play quite often and are quite experienced. So maybe we can go into some more specific details, and I can just kind of ask you questions, and that way I can gauge what kind of information you might need. Do you guys count frames at all?
Occasionally, I don't have all of the frames memorized for different things, but
right. Oh, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andre, do you count frames?
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
Again, I don't really know them, but
Right.
Do you mean counting frames is like when we're watching, if we can gauge how many frames or like a certain move is just by watching it?
Yeah, things like that as well, but also like pairing. If you don't necessarily need the ability to count each and every frame, but just know the significance of specific frames in order to communicate that with the audience. And I can give you an example. So let's say that it's like Ness versus Ness, right? Mirror matchup or whatever it is. And they're trying to like parry the other person's attack. You want to be able to communicate the idea of how to parry, and a lot of that comes to counting the frames for either basic or heavy attacks, depending on what kind of attack it is. But being able to communicate how they're able to parry and what a parry is, and a lot of that has to do with counting how many frames it takes for an ability to go off or to actually connect, if that makes sense. Does everybody know what being able to parry means?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Just like on your shield, 5 frames, I believe, before it attack hits.
Yeah, and that way you don't you're not affected by the ability, and you can counterattack pretty easily then. Yeah. So that's something that you're going to want to understand to be able to communicate to the audience for sure. Let's see. Does anyone have any ideas of how they would communicate that to the audience in a more simplistic form, because they won't know words like parry or maybe counting frames. So how do the 3 of you think that you would communicate that with the audience?
Communicate like what's happening or what's going on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a perfect shield is a probably better way to understand it for people who haven't played the game as long. I've heard a lot of people call it that because that's easier to understand.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody who has less context probably knows what a shield is, and they probably know what the word perfect means, right? So that's definitely a good way. Thank you, Spencer.
I don't know, talking about how you get stuck in the shield, how like it takes time to drop shield, and when you parry, you don't have that time, so you can immediately act. I don't know if that's too complicated though.
Yeah, I think that's good. It definitely is simpler than using the words like parry and whatnot, right? So I think that's a good starting point. And when you actually try it out in the casting, you might think it's something that's a little bit easier to say in the moment. Kind of just depends on the scenario. What do you think, Andre?
So a way I can kind of think on how to say this would be, if you start or end your shield a moment an attack hits, it would basically cancel out that attack, and you can just, I don't know, that shoot part was pretty good. Like, you don't need to end it, and takes too slow to stop it. So I would try to communicate something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm on the similar page where I would say something like, every character has a shield that they can use, and if you use a shield at the right time, the attack that's going to hit you doesn't affect you anymore, and you can attack back automatically and not have to wait. So things like that, definitely. More simplistic versions for sure. Okay, let's see. So the next thing I kind of want to ask everyone is shield health. Since we're already on the topic of shield, how would you communicate like your shield economy with the audience? Or do y'all know what I mean by the shield economy?
All right, only the second word I don't really understand.
That's fair. So your shield has like a lifespan, right, of itself, and so if you shield for too long, then you like stun yourself. And so what I mean by shield economy is how you navigate using your shield's health to where you time its regeneration. So if I use it a bunch, that I make sure I don't use it again until I know in my brain that it's regenerated. So that's kind of what I mean by the shield economy or shield health. If that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. Is that a concept that's familiar with you, Spencer, or Jerome?
I haven't heard it said like that before, but yeah, that concept, yeah, that definitely makes sense.
And it's probably called something else. Like it probably is, right? But as long as you can kind of visualize the shield that everyone has, and when it runs out, kind of what happens is you're stunned. So how would you communicate something like that to a more lay audience, like to your dad or mom who hasn't necessarily played the game, if they haven't? What are some ideas that y'all have?
So an idea I'm kind of getting would be try to communicate something like, the more time that you use your shield or the more it gets hit, it starts to deplete. And once it depletes, you basically can't move or do anything for a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Jerome, Spencer, what do y'all think?
I'm looking up all sorts of information on the shield right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess just the more you use your shield or your shield is attacked, then the smaller it gets. And if it goes all the way away, then you can't move or act, and you can sometimes get shield poked. But
right, yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I would go into the shield poke at first. I think that's an important part of the conversation for sure. On the more micro level, I think I really like Andre's point of view the most at first, because it's the most simplistic. The only thing that I would add to is
Hey, Summer, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Do you want to go into League of Legends or Rocket League?
I will go into League.
Okay, let me put you in there. I'll put you in with Archie. He's from the University of Utah, and you can monitor it or do whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Let's see. League of Legends. And then I'm gonna go back to Rocket League.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
what are some other techniques? Oh, do you guys know what teching is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teching. how would you communicate teching to a more lay audience?
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, right. But it's something that you see often, right? Because
Yeah,
teching and it's something that's very
Okay,
very
like
valuable.
I don't know what it is, so go ahead and explain it.
Well, it's a more advanced skill that you see usually in higher up players. Basically, if you get attacked hard enough and say you're going to fall on the ground, you get thrown to the ground, if you press the shield button at the correct time within a certain frame window, it basically takes all knockback away. So you just land perfectly and you don't fly away, and you can actually act out of it sooner. And it can save your life quite a few times, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, are you there? Hey, Will? Hello? Will? Hello, Will?
Hello?
Hello. Which room do you want to go into, League of Legends or Rocket League?
League of Legends.
Okay, I'll assign you there.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Where did I go?
Particularly difficult to shoutcast. Maybe matchups that you probably don't see very often, right?
Yeah, probably. And
Mhm.
maybe matchups against more campy characters that aren't doing as many interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Filling the airtime kind of in between.
I think maybe also matchups that are more even with each other, because then you can kind of point out advantages and disadvantages of some, but not really.
Yeah, there's some of them that are pretty even. Mirror matchups can definitely be that way, right? If they're playing the same character.
I think
Or you
like
miss-
specialized. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, actually, I was going to ask if you had something to say, so you're good.
I think like specialized low tiers, because a lot of low tiers they'll have like specific advantages and disadvantages that you can like point out, but like some are just bad because of a bunch of culmination of things. So those are kind of hard because it's not so clear cut.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And sometimes like these concepts can get pretty advanced, I would say, right? Like, they can get pretty hard to explain. And so maybe thinking beforehand of those particular matchups and making a list and kind of understanding those would be good to do. Man, they have a lot of characters now that are released. Yeah, like a significant portion. So one of the, and I'm sure the
Down. I've been getting on it and learning it.
Okay. Because I'm going to be operating a little bit under the assumption that people know the basic names for things. So if I do say some terminology or a piece of game vocab that just goes over someone's head, please stop me. Please let me know. I do have the chat open and I can address anything there as it comes up. So, but just to briefly recap what we've talked about, pre-show, before you even get to the broadcast, you do have there are certain responsibility things that you need to know. You should try to know about the metagame, the most recent balance patches, any histories these teams have. if you want to know about team histories, that's often just an ask the players thing. If you need to know about recent game balance changes, Riot on their website publishes all of the patch notes. I always make a habit. You read those up, see what is different
Did you see what
in
they,
recent months. Sorry, do you have a question?
did you see what they said for Ivern? They're like, oh yeah, we forgot to put it in the last patch, so here you go.
Yeah, there's always weird stuff right there. I know the patch notes can be a lot to read, especially if you're on short notice. I try to focus on specifically things that have been buffed, because things that have been nerfed, well, they're not as good. So good players are less likely to use them now. So if you have to skim, look for the buffs. Those are the most likely to matter. Those are things most likely to kind of come up there. And if you're just trying, so if you know the team history, you know the recent balance changes,
zone the opponent out into one side of the map, and how that character's kit will allow them to do that, to push the opponent to one side. I think that is a really good talking point that you could use if you don't know the matchup specifically. So always talking about the characters individually, and then saying something like, oh, Shulk is trying to keep the distance, trying to push them to one side of the map, and let's say Dr. Mario is trying to engage a little bit more, and talk about them specifically and not just how they interact. I think that would be a good thing to do as well. So what do you guys think the hardest thing about shoutcasting Super Smash Brothers would be? Maybe specific interactions between odd matchups. That could be one.
Yeah, that's one thing, and I'm generally not very comfortable talking to myself in front of a lot of people, so I'd have to get comfortable with that.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd usually be casting with someone else, though, right? It wouldn't always be solo.
Usually, yeah, and I
Okay.
think especially for ITeam, the goal is to have you have somebody with you, right?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a lot easier for me to do with someone else.
Yeah, it definitely is, to bounce off of them, to ask questions with them, and to do that as it is a lot easier for sure than doing it solo. What about Jerome or Andre? What do you think the hardest thing about?
Hey, Trevor or Trevin.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Hey, no worries. Where did you want to be put into? You have two choices. You can go to League of Legends or Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Okay. I'll put you in Rocket League.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Play might be right after the play happens, and that's because of how short those plays will be. And I kind of hinted towards that last time too, that Super Smash is one of those games where you talk about the general goals as much as you can, and as the play is happening or right after is where you can give that kind of play by play, like this is how the person was.
Hey, Will. Hey, Will. Are you there? Will? I can't hear you, Will. Let's see. Will. Hello? Will. Hey, Will? I can't hear you. Hello, Will? Um, are you there? I can't hear you. Okay. Okay, let's see.
The editing in Zoom isn't too great, and so just keep that in mind. But if I were you, I would probably do it in Zoom, just because it's a lot easier to send that video to me in my email. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, for sure. I think it's almost time to go into the other room. Is that right, Bob? Because I want to give him the links and whatnot.
Okay, that's yeah, we can do that. Will cannot speak. He doesn't have a microphone, so he's just kind of listening to what's going on. So we want everybody to go back to the main rooms then.
Yeah, I want to give each group the links for their videos and talk about how to send the videos to me.
Okay.
I think after that we can adjourn for the day. Oh, you're good, Will. No problem, man. Honestly, no problems at all.
Now, can you guys do that individually, or do I need to do that?
Oh, yeah, we can just leave room. So you can leave room, and then it says leave breakout room. Don't hit leave meeting, just to leave breakout room, and I'll see everyone in the other room. Cool. All of us are here. I'm just waiting for league.
Okay, so I'll talk to Archie.
These guys, they're just like, oh yeah, he's probably gonna do this. Like, oh, I did it. I was like, yo, it's so cool. You know.
That's what it's all about. That's honestly the job of shoutcasting at any given time is to anticipate what's going to happen, suggest to the audience that it might happen, so that when it does happen, their minds explode. That's the dream. That's that is the happy feeling that we're all chasing all the time. So
okay, we're gonna all move back into the main room. So if you can wrap it up just a little bit, Archie. I know, surprise. So you'll click on leave the room, and then don't leave the session. Just leave the breakout room.
okay. Well, I apparently overestimated the amount of time I have. So here's all of my talking points, most important ones, really, really fast. In the early game, the most important thing you can talk about is the
shoutcasting would be.
Okay, so they're all in the other room, and everybody's Archie's wrapping it up. They'll be with us in just a minute.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, you're good, Trevor. It's not a big deal for sure. You can always go back and watch the beginning of the course too, so you kind of catch up on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how this records. I hope it recorded both.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It might not have done the side rooms, but
I think what has to do is each individual person has to record it. Like you have to record it, or Archie has to record it. So
I did not know that.
I did not know that too. I'm learning these things.
That's fair. That's a note for next time, I guess.
Note for next time, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
great. It gives me another week to practice.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
fair.
gosh, you guys. It's like your grandpa trying to learn Rocket League, you know? Really, really it is.
Right.
Ah.
Let's see.
So how many of you guys have broadcasted for your school?
I have not. yet.
Okay. And what school are you from, Andre?
I'm from Timpanogos.
Okay, you just tell Vinny you want to do it. She'll let you in there.
Right.
My school doesn't really stream or do anything like that. So
And you're at Skyridge, right?
yeah.
Okay, so what I need is I need a volunteer to go on to the student meeting on Wednesday and kind of explain what we're doing in here. Is there anybody that volunteered to do that?
That's fair. Will.
I have no idea. Yeah. So if anybody liked it, how about you, Spencer or Jerem? Would you like to just kind of, in our Wednesday meeting with the students, just kind of explain a little bit of what you've been doing?
Is that meeting on Wednesday just this, but with more people?
Yeah, it's like a lot more people.
Oh, okay. I could try, but I'd probably mess up a lot because I mess up when talking in front of lots of people like that. But
That's good practice. That's good
yeah,
practice.
you're right. It's good practice.
Sorry, I'm lagging into oblivion. What are we talking about?
Did Will just talk? I think Will just talked.
That's
Nah,
wonderful.
this is a different Will.
Oh.
So what I'm trying to do is get somebody from the class to kind of talk about what we're doing here and kind of advertise for our shoutcasting course because we will be repeating this again. And, you know, I just want to say to everybody that's on here, and we're missing quite a few tonight, you guys are pioneers. We will develop and make this course be wonderful. And I see it going nationwide in where we can actually have students from every high school be shoutcasters in the different games that we do. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. So Spencer, what's your last name?
Right.
No, right. What's your last name? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
What?
kidding.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right,
uh-huh,
right,
uh-huh,
right.
yeah.
No, but what's your last name? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay. Okay, Kevin, it's all yours.
Awesome. So what I'm gonna do is put my email in the chat. So I'm gonna put a link for each of the video for each different game and then what game it is with a timestamp. The timestamp is right before the game starts. So for League of Legends, it's right before the banning stages really begin and they pick the bans. And for the other two, it's kind of as they enter into the lobby. So the way the chat's gonna look like at the top is gonna be my email. Then it's going to be the League of Legends link. Then it's going to be the Rocket League link. And then lastly, the Super Smash link. What I want
And then what do we do with the links?
Oh, I'll explain to you. So what we'll do is you'll record yourself shoutcasting that match, just that either that one match or that one game. If you wanted to do the whole series, like you definitely could, but I would recommend kind of starting with the smaller ones and working your way up. You're going to record yourself shoutcasting the match or the game. You can mute the stream in the background because it's all off the Twitch channels, and so I would recommend muting the stream, right? That way you're not shoutcasting over someone else's shoutcasting. And I would record it either using, if you know programs like Streamlabs, like those things they're nice tools, they're good. If you don't, then Zoom is a pretty good option because it has a recording system in it. The goal for this assignment, I'm going to call it an assignment, right? It's just to get you to be on camera and to say words, just to kind of get started and become more familiar with talking into the camera and making those conversation pieces. I wouldn't worry too much about the quality of how you sound yet. I would definitely go back and watch it. But if you watch it and you're like, wow, I suck at this, like I'm not that great, that's to be expected, right? Like the first time, and I'm sure Archie can kind of attest to it too. The first few times that you try to speak on camera can be terrifying, right? And it can be scary for sure. But as you get the hang of it, it becomes easier and easier. So let me go ahead and type all of that into chat. So what you'll do after you're done recording it, you will just send
Wait,
it.
can I
in an
like
email.
use OBS?
Yeah, definitely.
Film it,
That's fine.
or-
If you're familiar with that format, you can do that as long as you can email me the file. Yeah, that's fine for sure. I just know that not everybody is super comfortable with the streaming software, so whatever works for you in that aspect. So that's my email. Now let's talk about the league link. And I would put this in like in a Word document or a Google Doc file, so you can look at the link later, because I don't know if many of you are going to be doing this right as you get off the Zoom call. I'm sure that everyone's pretty busy.
I mean, I got nothing to do. I'll do it.
That's fair. So here's the league link with the beginning, with the timestamp where the game goes and starts the banning phase. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's League of Legends. So let's do the Rocket League one next. If you lose the link, just let me know. Silly. Do I send the video to your email? Yes, you'll send the video to my email for sure. So this is the Rocket League link. Let me fix that. Yep. And the timestamp for that one is 26:30. If you lose the link or you can't find it again, if you have questions, email me too. I'm pretty responsive with my email. I do a lot of work on my computer these days, so don't be afraid to send one my way. Super Smash. And here's the link with the timestamp. And like I said, don't overwhelm yourself with doing the whole set or the whole stream. It's definitely start small. And that is the last one.
So for league, do we just do the pick and bans and then we're just done, or do we go on to laning phase?
I would do like the laning phase and the first game of the set, right? And do
Right.
the entirety start to finish of the game. League is a lot longer than the rest of them. The games typically go longer, especially at these higher elos. So if you find yourself,
Wait, what
just
match
getting
is it?
You'll see when you click on the link. You'll see.
Is it from like LCS or LCK?
Yeah, it's from a. No, this one's from the League Esports. So for Rocket League and for League of Legends, I got off the League Esports. So it's either something from ITeam or something that the League Esports produces. Super Smash Bros is the NA Open from October. So that's not a pro game. Or camera. So I don't have a recording software, then video cameras. Right. So you can actually use Zoom, Will, if you would
I
like
watch
to.
like a ton of League Esports, so I've probably already seen it.
Right. That's fair. So you can use Zoom to do the best that you can. If you don't have a way of getting a microphone, maybe Bill and I can kind of figure something out there. Record.
So also, Will, what school are you from? Will Ott?
Me?
Can you type it in? No, Will Ott.
Oh, sorry.
Timpanogos. We can also arrange to have you do that in class with Vinny. Vinny can make that happen too. She's got all the equipment. She's willing to help you be successful. And I want to make another plug too. March 18th is our ITeam ceremony, award ceremony, and we will have a production and a shoutcasting competition. So those that do very well, and I expect a lot from this class, will actually be awarded a prize, trophy, and be recognized in front of all your peers as, the shoutcasting champion. So we encourage you to come to class and participate. And you guys, you don't understand how hard it is. Perfect. How hard it is for Kevin and Archie to be here and take their time and their expertise. You're getting the best of the best information and in shoutcasting. So So keep coming to class, keep working. We look forward to you guys having some great success in your shoutcasting. And maybe you can take Archie in Kevin's place, So no.
Maybe.
I'm
Anyway.
coming for
Kevin.
your job.
Hey, Kevin, you hear that? I'm coming for you, bro.
Oh,
I've
You're
also
welcome.
got so much
For sure.
homework. If you just want to like take this responsibility from me, that is so much off my shoulders, and like go for it. Take my
Yeah,
job.
definitely.
I dare you.
Cool.
I love it.
Awesome. If you guys, if y'all can try to have those videos by at least Monday-ish, would be really good, so we can start giving you some feedback on those, and so you can kind of produce as many as possible, because the more practice that you have, the better, for sure. And like I said, if you have any questions, just email me. I'll respond as quickly as I possibly can. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy to shoot me a quick email. Cool. I think that's it for tonight. So thanks, Archie, for coming and helping out. I really appreciate it. And I'll see everyone on Wednesday.
All right, cool.
All right. Neat.
Sorry I was late, by the way. I was taking a nap.
You're good.
Yeah, all the boys were on. We were all playing ranked. So
See ya. Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Hey, send in the chat your username, bro. I'll friend you.
You want to play some Rocket League? Okay.
Let me answer the question in chat real quick. So do we record ourselves shoutcasting the clip? Also, do we record? How do we record in Zoom? And yeah, you can definitely ask her as well. If you use Zoom, there's just a button that says record, and once you hit record, it's red, and then you can hit stop recording. Once the Zoom meeting ends, it's transferred to your files, so you'll just have to find the file that way, for sure. So if you don't have some of the streaming software like OBS or Streamlabs, which is totally fine, Zoom is a really good medium to start on, for sure. Cool. All right. Thanks, Bob.
Hey, thank you all. We'll see you Wednesday.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Later.